All right. Good evening, everybody.
Everybody.
Ooh, that's a lot of feedback. Okay. Now I don't hear it. Okay, everybody's muted now. There we go. So, tonight I want to talk about branding. It's something that's really important, and I think a lot of coaches burn out early on in the business because they try too hard to be someone they're not, to be someone else, to follow someone else's brand. And that's kind of what we're told at first when you first start as a coach. Like, here's a couple names of some coaches to follow to see what they do. Here's the system. And then you just end up wanting to copy what they do because the way they say things is so perfect, and the way they do things is so great and so profound. And although that's true, that's because they've spent time developing their brand, and they think about what they want to say in their posts that is them, and although to start out, it's good to see the style of posting, how often they post, the content in which they post. Eventually, it actually can become a hindrance to follow a ton of coaches in the business. So I know from personal experience, I have unfollowed many coaches because I don't want that noise in my head. I don't want to have that. I want my brand to come out, and I want my thoughts to come out in my posts, not like, oh, I like the idea behind what that person posted, but I can't think of a better way to say it. So I'm going to more or less copy and paste it. And instead, I want my own ideas to flourish and develop, and I have a chance to, write it down and share it on my social media. And branding, once you're branding with your own brand, something that you're passionate about, it really makes you enjoy posting. Then you don't feel the pressure. You have fun with it. So I want to talk about what personal branding is. And basically, it's just the way in which you tell your story. And it gives people a general sense of who you are, and the way that you post. And you want something that is visually cohesive with what you're trying to communicate in your post, because everyone is trying to communicate something different and in a different way in their own style. So basically, people ask a lot of top coaches, they get asked, like, what's your secret sauce? And you know what it is? To me, a big part of, everyone's personal secret sauce is they find people that are just like them, just as encouraged, just as ready and motivated. And they find people that when you see someone on social media, you think, wow, I want to be that girl's best friend. I could list like probably 50 Beachbody coaches. I want to be all of their best friends. And that means that what they're doing is working. That means that they are properly branding themselves. For example, Melanie Mitro and Amy Silverman, those are two coaches that a lot of people know, and they have very different brands. So, Melanie, when someone first thinks of Melanie, aside from Pam thinking, oh my God, that's like my girl crush, Melanie. But aside from that, what most people think of when they think of Melanie is, a mother, a wife, I guess a top coach, 3 times in a row at this point, but very into providing value for recipes. She needed a solution to she's very driven. She needed a solution to help like with her weight loss journey. And she has such a great way of sharing her journey. And she was super busy when she started to build her business. She had 2 very small children. She got up at 5 every morning to do her workouts. She is very much centered in her faith, and she's centered with her family. And then you've got Amy Silverman. And Amy Silverman lives this, she's married, she doesn't have any kids. And she doesn't even, live, I don't remember where exactly she lives, but if I'm not mistaken, she doesn't live in the United States. Is that correct? She lives in, yeah, exactly. She doesn't even live here now. She's moved into a country, like another country, because she can. Her and her husband can. They work this business together, and she's got this bohemian style. the name of her team is Set Your Soul on Fire. And that's a great way for her. That's a great brand for Amy. She doesn't give a crap what other people think. She literally doesn't care. I mean, I've seen posts, responses in her post when people have said, hey, that would be such a great topic for you to go live and talk about, like, why you drink Shakeology, but you're kind of eating more of a vegan lifestyle right now. And her response to that person was, I don't feel the need to go live and explain myself. She literally said that to somebody who was just innocently saying, it would be interesting to hear your perspective about going live, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, no, I don't feel like trying to convince people. I'm choosing, to not call myself vegan. There was this whole issue. But just her response, the way she's like, no, I don't feel like I need to convince anybody. I don't feel like I need to, I am just myself. She's like super hippie. We all know that she's been sober for many years now. She was an addict. So, that's like her brand, like sober and just like, hippie, but and super down to earth and really honest and upfront, and just loves her team of really honest, awesome women, and so those are two good examples of women that have very different brands. So there's a quote that I'm going to read to you guys. I'm going to read it from my book. So I want to read to you guys this quote, and I want just let this sink in. Here we are. Okay. So the career world is like an ecological system. People occupy particular fields within which they must compete for resources and survival. The more people there are crowded into a space, the harder it becomes to thrive there. Working in such a field will tend to wear you out as you struggle to get attention, to play the political games, to win scarce resources for yourself. You spend so much time at these games that you have little time left over for true mastery. You are seduced into such fields because you see others are making a living treading the familiar path. You are not aware of how difficult such a life can be. And I love that. Really stood out to me. And how much easier this life would be if we didn't feel like we had to battle for resources for survival in terms of our business. If we, how much easier it would be if we were steadfast in our own brand, that we didn't feel like we had to, work incredibly hard just to thrive. As I was reading that, I thought, you know what? Melanie Mitro and Amy Silverman and Danielle Natoni, I know for a fact that they don't feel like they have to battle for attention or play the political games, as the quote said. They don't have to do that because they are so steadfast in their brands and in who they are as coaches, as people, that they don't have to do that. They do not have to subscribe to that lifestyle. And that it's true. That is exhausting. That sounds awful. That paragraph sounded horrible. That sounded like a very sad living and stressful. So what can you do to find your voice and personally brand yourself? So first thing I want you guys to do is consider who you are and what you enjoy. So for example, sit down, set aside, 15 or 20 to 30 minutes and create a mood board on Pinterest. Go to Pinterest and, you can be watching TV, listen to some music as you're just scrolling, okay? You're going to scroll through Pinterest and create a mood board. And you're just going to pin things. You're not going to put too much thought into it. Just pin things without thinking of them. Just go, let your mind wander. It could be furniture. It could be anywhere from furniture to, a horse, to not a horse. I just came from the barn. Can you tell? To an animal, to the clothing lines. It doesn't matter what it is. Just pin them. Pin things that stand out to you. And when you do that, then go through your mood board and take note of, were you picking things that were in the like blues or autumn colors, the oranges, the deep reds, the purples, the light purple, the dark purples, the earthy tones? Or were you picking vibrant things like neon colors? of clothing or a style of house that you were looking at on Pinterest. So, and then go through that and kind of observe and take and write down what you saw when you looked through your mood board. And write down those key elements that start sticking out to you as you're scrolling. And then figure out what you want people to connect with you about. So this could be any theme. It could be if Pam is a blogger. She enjoys blogging. Valency loves writing. She's a writer. She wants to be an author. Darla loves knitting. She works at a quilting shop. She enjoys that. I have a horse. I'm an equestrian rider. It just is a few examples of different people. So, it could be motherhood, do-it-yourself projects, yoga, being a young mom, being a girl boss, your religion, your spirituality. That's also very big with a lot of Beachbody coaches. A lot of Beachbody coaches are very steadfast in their religion and their spiritual beliefs. Running and something about your health transformation. Basically figure out what you want people to connect with you about, what they want to see with you, right? And my first thought when I consider this is, can this be limiting? And at first, when you think of it, you can kind of go, that seems very limiting because I want to help everybody. I want to help, I want to be able to help anybody from a mom, even though I'm not a mom. I want to be able to help a mom, like Pam, to, Valency, who at the time was technically on paper single, and, not married and no children. I want to help anyone from that side of the spectrum to this side of the spectrum. And I'm not saying don't help, those people, but create an avatar of your perfect person and have that in your mind and be talking to those people when you are sharing. Be talking about the old Catherines, the old Valencies, the old Pams, or the women that you're really wanting to reach, who are going to really identify with you. It doesn't necessarily mean that when I'm sharing that a mom won't identify with me simply because I don't have kids. I actually have a few moms that have reached out to me and love my positivity and my posts and how real I am in a lot of my posts. And they have kids and they identify with me and I identify with them. I am also a nanny. So I very much identify with moms, even young moms, because I feel like I practically raised one of the girls that I started when she was 4 years old, whose parents were very absent. I practically raised her from 4 years old, and she is now 14. She'll be so mad at me that I almost called her 13. 14. So I very much identify with moms. So I'm also not going to limit myself to, well, if you're a mom, I'm going to redirect you to Pam because Pam has kids. And, if this person vibes with me and my brand on social media, then that's great. But it's just good to have a really strong avatar for who you're talking to. Okay. The little details don't necessarily matter. I'm not going to split hairs and only help women who don't have kids, for example. So it is not limiting. You open yourself up to more people that you can better help because they are more like you. And these people, they just get you. They're like, you know what, I feel you. Like I'm picking up what you're putting down, and when you share your brand unapologetically, then you feel like you're not chasing people. We are not in a job where we want to chase people. We do not see people in the parking lot. And I imagine, the sleazy car salesman, we don't see someone in the parking lot and immediately go, guys, I got this. Let's Rochambeau. Who's going to get her first? Who's going to run out there and start get convincing her which car she needs? That is not what we're about. People come to us because we have something valuable to offer and they vibe with us. Okay. So, that's when you start having fun with posting. It's no longer a job. You enjoy sharing your journey and, you feel like you get to share it as opposed to feeling like you have to share it. And when you come from a place of an abundance mindset instead of a scarcity mindset, that really helps change the game for people, and it will prevent burnout, and you'll really enjoy this for years to come, So how do you start building your brand right now? If you're like, all right, I'm ready. I want to really do this, and I want to be steadfast in my brand. So some tips that I have are: find ways to produce value. Find ways that with your brand and what you like, how can you offer value? And I promise you, the more value you offer on your page, it will return tenfold. It really will. I know people are like, well, I only want to offer certain things in my free groups because, that's yeah, I don't want to offer too much in the groups that are free because, what do my people that pay for a challenge pack get? They get you one-on-one phone calls. I've had the last 2 days, 2 of my challengers send me messages saying, Catherine, I'm struggling. I am really struggling and I need help. And I said, listen, okay, I'm going to set up a specialized meal plan for you. And this weekend, I want you to go ahead and have the pity party, feel sorry for yourself, boo-hoo, you got out of your routine. Life happens, things happen, right? That's fine. So I want you to center yourself for next week. I'm going to send you an entire meal sheet for the whole week. And you're going to go shopping this weekend. And then together, every single day, I'm going to check in with you, make sure that you are sticking to that meal plan, make sure that you are going to get back into your workout routines to make sure that you get that before after photo back, because I've had people that have shared their before after and I got a message from one of them saying, I can already feel that the fact that I'm no longer toned. So they get the one-on-one with me and they get the inspiration and they get to talk to me on the phone or see me in person. They get gifts from me, words of affirmation. I am here for them 100%. And I'm not saying that I'm not there for other people. However, the more I offer, they can see up front, okay, clearly this person is willing to do anything. This person is willing to help me unconditionally because they clearly care, and that helps share my brand as being a caring, giving person. For example, Melanie Mitro, she does not hold back her advice to other coaches because they're not on her team. It's called Business Tip Tuesday. Every Tuesday, she goes live and she gives coaches on her like page value. And it's not like she goes, if you're not on my team, then you don't qualify to watch Business Tip Tuesday. This is only a private thing. The links are private to only my people. She offers this value, and that's part of her brand, is being a giving, awesome human being. And that does help her with Make Success Club and become a successful coach. I mean, she is now 3 times in a row the top coach of Beachbody. So clearly, offering as much value as you can and ask for nothing in return does work because she is so good at that. So, so find ways to give people value, and always go for the relationship and giving that value to someone over a sale. Be purposeful in what you share. So don't just do a post for the sake of doing a post. If you're going to post something of no value or something silly just for the sake of throwing something on your newsfeed, it's better to simply not post it. In all honesty, it really is. It won't increase your affinity on Facebook because no one's going to like it. It kind of it becomes a detriment because it's not you. You're not focusing on the message you want to send, how that benefits your brand, how that benefits your overall goals of being a coach. So just don't post them. Be very purposeful. Associate with other strong brands. And that's also why we have team calls and why other coaches speak, to associate ourselves with other great coaches. That's why we have Super Saturdays, and you friend people on Facebook. I just got a friend request from a coach, and I noticed we have 3 coaches. We have 3 friends in common. They're all coaches. Clearly this person isn't my coach, but they want to friend me to see what I do. So of course I accept that friend request. So another is to reinvent. So you want to have a strong narrative about your story, and you want to breadcrumb and embed your story in with your posts, and start thinking of yourself as a brand. Start thinking of who you are as a brand. And other little things, you could secure a personal website or a blog. For example, Valenty's looking into that right now. And Pam has a blogging site. Your like page, a lot of this has to do with your like page that I'm referring to in terms of like with your brand and everything. And make sure that it is authentically you and that you feel in your heart what your brand is. So I'm actually going to do a screen share and I'm going to share with you guys. Okay. Can everybody see that? So I'm going to send in the files section right after this call some of my tips for branding. And I'm also going to send this link. And my assignment for you guys, part of my call to action, sorry, something's in my eye, is doing this brand personality style guide. So I'm going to go through with you my results to kind of show you what sort of results you see. So I actually took the test twice because I kind of didn't like the title of my first response, and it's called The Regular Gal. And to me that, oh, you've got a kid in the car. I can't say what I want to say. To me, that's makes me think I'm a basic, and then we're going to not say that last word, but a basic, cough, cough. So if y'all know what I'm talking about. So I was kind of like, well, I am not regular. I am not basic. Like, whoa. So I took it again. And I like, if you find that you're stuck between one or two answers, you can take the test more than once, and then you can kind of mold your two results of the brand, unless you get the same result twice, in which case be steadfast and in this brand. So I got the regular gal, and I'll show you my other results as well. So here's the facts. I'm the girl next door. What does this mean for my business? That I can use who I am to enhance my brand and my business, and I can stop fighting being something that I'm not. So my motto for the regular gal: work hard, stay humble. I'm about kindness. I pride myself in being relatable. As I was reading this the first time, I was like, heck yeah, okay, yeah, I feel you. I was like, all right, like maybe I'm regular after all, I was like, okay. So as I'm going through this, everyone matters just the way they are. Be authentic, down to earth in your approach. My superpowers, realism and empathy. I totally get that. I was like, okay, like maybe being basic isn't that bad. Like this is not a bad result. I've just, the first response to the title, I was kind of like, I beg your pardon, So my core desire, connecting with others. My goal is to feel a sense of community. And oh my God, I talk about that all the time. That is what I fell in love with, was the community. So when I was reading this, I was like, heck yeah, like this is it. I found my brand. I literally have an email that tells me what my brand is. So my strategy: develop solid virtues, friendly, humble, relatable, and how I help my tribe reassure them that they're okay just as they are, and create a community where they feel like they belong. And I saw Valenty shaking her head earlier, like, yeah, she sees that. She's like, okay, like that totally Catherine's brand. Like I can tell she's totally agreeing with a lot of this, So my weakness: giving up my sense of self in order to blend in. Hello, all 4 years of my high school. Like all 4 years of high school, that was me. So it was just so amazing and so eye-opening to take one of these tests. If you haven't done the GEM test, I highly recommend that. I'll also share that link as well. So my brand words: home team, friendship, wild, genuine, natural, cozy, community. I love these words. And then the important thing for a cover photo, for example, we get to the more meat. These are my colors. And I really love these purple and blue ones right here. I really love them. And that is actually what I am commissioning the woman who's doing my cover photo. This is the results that I sent her, and those are the colors I told her I would love, for her to just get creative with because I have no artistic talent. So it's just easier. People can tell when you don't have a professional cover photo made. So it's just better to look professional. It's definitely worth it. But I'll talk about that in a minute. And then, so my fonts, I love this font, the Hello Beautiful font. I loved looking at this. And then my mood, just like your mood board on Pinterest that I want you guys to do as well. I was like, oh yeah, like I love Moscow mules, those cups. I love Moscow mules. And I love having the copper cup. You know what I mean? Like, just looking at the mood of these photos, I love this, like a evening barbecue. So that gives you a little insight. And then I'll share with you, after I insisted on taking this test again, I got the queen. I was much happier with this result, right? So as I'm going through, it's like, okay, ruler, CEO, leader. I was like, yeah, this is definitely totally me too. You know what I mean? So, stop fighting being something you're not. Ambition is the new black. Ultimate leader. I'm in love with being in control. I was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, okay. So between these two brands, I clearly feel very much a sense of, okay, this is definitely like, I really am feeling my brand at this point, right? Okay. I'm about power. Well, I don't know about power, but leadership, taking charge of situations. So taking charge of your personality. I act as a leader, so my superpower is leadership. I definitely agree with that. To be in control, create a prosperous, successful business. So let's get down to my potential weakness. I totally am bossy. Like, yes, for sure. Ask my brother. Anyway, so I like these two, like honor, boss, ruler, leader, classic, luxury. I love all of those words. And then I wasn't quite feeling these color schemes so much. But I liked the words ahead of time. And then I also, again, I loved these and I loved the mood. I loved the mood of this, the mood board that they set up here. So just to give you an idea of some of the results you could possibly get in your test, in your personality test. It's really interesting. So I really liked doing that. So then so there's the idea of how you can start building your brand right now, is having the strong narrative, knowing and being steadfast in what you want to share, what content you want to share, how you want to add value, and then decide what message you want your followers to see and how you want them to feel when they're on your page. And I want you guys to take the branding quiz. If you can take it tonight, I would love for you to take it tonight and then share your results. Take a screenshot of the results or just comment. Tonight I would love to do that and for us to share what our results were, what our color schemes were, how we feel about those things too. Again, like I told you initially, I had kind of a negative response to being called the regular gal. But yet, as I read through it and I thought about myself and I said, you know what? I am the girl next door. I feel that. You know what? I like that and I accept that because that is who I am. And I love that. And it was just really eye-opening to see that. You know what I mean? I really loved that. So, so to tell you about my friend Cheryl, I can send you guys her information if you want. I highly recommend when you guys are creating your like page and you are, building your like page brand, to get it professionally done. So we can talk privately about how much it costs. It's really not expensive. And especially when this is just your, when someone is looking at your like page and they're going to potentially like your page or not, it's great to have that initial inviting picture that is very aesthetically pleasing and looks professional. So also consider changing your brand. If you feel like you were initially, when you started coaching, you don't want to delete your like page or anything, and don't get me wrong, you don't have to. Consider changing your brand once you take this test. If this is totally the opposite of what your page is, and you kind of look at your page now and you're kind of like, oh, like I'm just not feeling it, then that's okay. Then change your brand. Your brand changes, and your brand grows. For example, when I become a mom, my brand is going to then morph a little bit. It'll still be me at the base, but it will add more depth to it, because I'll then be a mom, married, have my own house, you know what I mean? Just your brand will allow your brand to continue to grow. So, that's all I have for you guys. I'm just trying to think of what else I wanted to say, but yeah, really consider what you want your followers. Would you follow you? That's what I want to end with, is would you follow you based on what you post? And if the answer is no, then there's some soul searching and a couple personality quizzes that you guys need to take So after the call, I'm going to post in the files section of our team page the link and then a couple little tips for branding. And I'm really curious to see what everyone's brand is and how you want to implement that. And then if you want information about my friend Cheryl, who does professional cover photos, I'll show you guys my cover photo as soon as it's done. But I just wanted to, share with you guys my experience with branding and everything. So does anybody have any questions? I can unmute you guys. Does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to say?
I do. So I know this is tentatively or potentially a taboo question, but I have part of who I am and part of who I've always been, even as a massage therapist, is someone who gives honest feedback about the value and the quality of the product that they're getting. And for me, I order some of my supplements through bodybuilding.com because it is flat out cheaper and a comparative value. I'm not saying to have anything that even gets close to Shakeology, but creatine, I'm not going to pay more money for the same thing. And that's an honesty I want to bring to my like page, but I've been hesitating on it because, I don't want to ruffle any feathers at Beachbody headquarters. So what's your view on that?
Well, I happen to know, just because I know you and your and Clint's story, that money is tight, and so you guys want to find the most cost effective way to still get all the benefits. So that's totally your choice. I know coaches that have shared other pre-workout options besides Energize, and I asked one day, I asked this coach that I'm thinking about specifically, I said, hey, like, do you not like Energize? And he just said, no, I like Energize, but I also like a different flavor. I like, whatever. So it's totally up to you. It's up to what you want to do, how you want to promote it. If you are in a group, if you're running a challenge group with, let's say, a success partner, I would talk to them first about potentially promoting something otherwise, because it just depends. You don't want to step on toes of other coaches if you're running a group, because they might be, wanting them to try the performance line or something like that, because, it is really good quality ingredients and, superior to many brands. I'm not saying all, just many are good. So again, it's totally up to you. For example, I know that Danielle Natoni, she has said that she puts, maybe Pam will remember, she puts like some sort of a collagen supplement or something in her Shakeology every day. And she shares that.
She and Shanti both do it.
Yeah. So she doesn't if you see her post, she doesn't shout it from the rooftops, but she has mentioned it before to the point where, I happen to know that. Pam happens to know that. You know what I mean? So she has shared before that she'll add a couple extra supplements and I don't know if, but I do know she drinks the performance line. She drinks the Energize and the Recover. She has said she doesn't drink much of the other performance line because she doesn't feel like she needs it.
Right.
So it's up to you. I do recommend trying the products when you can, when you can afford it. Yeah, giving all of them a try. But if you choose to go with something different and if you want to promote that, that's fine. If you choose not to promote it or talk to someone privately about it, like, Beachbody offers the performance line. If they say money's tight, then offer them the other option. Or it's all up to what you want.
Bodybuilding.com isn't paying me.
Oh, sorry, cut out a little bit. What was that?
That's kind of what I was thinking, because as much as I want to be straightforward and honest, I'm not going to necessarily tell people, like, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I drink the Recover, when in fact I don't. I found that for Recover specifically, I found the main ingredient that my body needs out of that is the BCAAs, and I found a cheaper source through bodybuilding.com. However, it tastes bad. So, I'm going to be honest about all of it. But I'm not really going to be like, putting up promotions for bodybuilding.com because, I don't get any kickbacks from that. And, when it comes down to it, I'm honest. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to mislead them, but I'm also not going to be impractical about my business page,
Yeah, and that's totally fine. You can just say, I've tried Recover, because I know you have, and I choose to just one of the main active ingredients, because Recover has many components to it that are beneficial to muscle recovery. But if you say, I've decided, to just get the one ingredient from a website instead of all of them, because I feel like it's most helpful for me, whatever, then that's totally your choice. That's how you want to run your business. That's totally whatever you want. There's no right or wrong. Pam, did you want to weigh in?
Well, the thing about that is that you're not going to be posting about that supplement every single day, 3 times a day, 5 days a week. You may mention it once, and somebody may not even catch the fact that you said anything and keep on going. And it may be 6 weeks before somebody asks about a performance line, something. And then, that's your opportunity. Yes, Beachbody has this, and this, and this, but I have found this, whatever on this other website. And if you would like to talk about it privately, feel free to message me or something like that. That way it's not broadcasted all over your page that you're drinking something else, but you say you're a Beachbody coach. So, it is what it is. And, a lot of people, I have one customer and she started with me. I think the day I turned a coach, she was my customer. And she has bought every program that has come out. She went and did the All Access Pass, but she cannot drink Shakeology because she is allergic to flaxseed, like anaphylactically allergic to flaxseed. Like, it's not just because she doesn't like it, it's because she will die if she drinks it. So, and I get it. And so I don't talk to her about Shakeology because it's a moot point. Now, I have encouraged her to try the performance line, maybe, get the and that's what I would do. If somebody's interested in the performance line, is get that that sample box. It's got like 1 pack or 2 packs of each.
Yeah, if someone asks you like, hey, I looked online about the performance line, like a pre-workout. Is there a pre-workout that Beachbody offers? I would initially go with the performance line because, you're then promoting on your website to get things. Plus, I don't know, maybe I'm clearly biased, but I think that a lot of effort and time and research went into the performance line. They literally spent years researching. If you watch the video on the doctor who like co-created the performance line, I did a lot of research because he put so much effort into this that I'm willing to spend the extra money to do that. And I promote that before anything. I've tried C4 and a couple of other, other things. And I think that Energize is superior, but again, everyone's different. And again, that's your choice, so it's totally up to you. I don't know if that even answers the question.
Do, if somebody's interested in it, get them to get the sample pack, or get the, they have
it's like $14. Box. It's like $14 to try all of it.
Yeah, it's not much. And then they even have the box. What is it? Is it 10 packs of Energize?
You can get a 10-pack of sample of like Energize, or like I offered in my challenge group last week. As I was sharing about some of the value of Shakeology, I also shared about the value of the Shakeology boosts, which I know Valency hasn't tried. I don't know if you have, but that is something that Danielle Natoni has openly said she adds to her Shakeology. So not only does she add collagen to her Shakeology, but Danielle Natoni every day adds the greens Shakeology boost, Power Greens. So And that's just extra greens in your diet. So that would be something interesting for you to try, Valency, at some point in the future. Also, just for you to get greens in, just for your health, because you just have with your health issues, extra greens might help. Who knows? Or the digestive boost, or focused energy. So I offered to get my clients, a sample of all of these products, of the, Energize, Recover, etc. So you could always offer that if you happen to have extra, just give them an extra scoop. If you know them well, if you're friends with them, then you don't have to have it in the official sample pack. You can give it to them in a Ziploc. This girl is my neighbor. I'm literally going to walk it down to her. So
yeah.
So, and I'll bring the box in so she can see it, but I'm not going to order it special. So it's just up to you. Other coaches use other things simply for different flavor, or, whatever. So it's totally up to you. And like Pam said, you won't be sharing that every single day.
Well, part of it too is that I'm a self-professed kitchen witch, and what that means is that I was raised with making home remedies, and I'm a huge believer, and that's a big part of who I am. So like the digest, for example, I've seen the ingredients in it. I make my own teas, I make my own capsules, and that's just a habit that I've picked up from a long time of.
Oh, you cut out. Uh-oh. Valency, you're cutting out. She froze. We may have lost her. I see where she's going with that because I know Valency. And if your video comes back, Valency, chime in. But yeah, if you already make your own home remedies from certain things, share that. I would share that and say, like, here's what I make for my blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, we totally lost Valency. She's gone. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there she is.
My Wi-Fi went down. Sorry.
That's okay. Sorry. So sorry. Go on then. So you make your own home remedies that do the same thing. And to me, that's totally fine too. You can make your own home remedies for things. And then maybe sometime you go on a vacation and you bring with you digest. You know what I mean? Like if you choose to, it's totally up to you. It's whatever you want. Oh, there's feedback. Sorry. So if you already make your own home remedies, that's fine. And then if someone asks you about, hey, like, what do you do for, I'm feeling really stopped up still. Shakeology helps, but not enough. I still only go every other day or something like that. Whatever it is, you can suggest, I make my own home remedy for this, and that. I can give you that. But then also, we also have the Shakeology boosts, and the digestive boost is really, really helpful. It's all the same stuff, except just because I sure as hell you will not find me in the kitchen like Valency making homemade remedies for anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people just have no interest in making their own medicines.
Exactly. But I'll pay extra to make sure that it's organic, to make sure that it's right, properly created, as wholesome as possible. You know what I mean? Like so exactly, but Valency enjoys that. She's done it for years. She is a witch. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she's got a cauldron. It's weird. It's weird being at her house sometimes. You know what I mean? So you can share that and say, hey, let me send you this recipe. And again, that's part of you and your brand is adding value to you. You are just a wealth. You are a cauldron of information. If we're going to go with this metaphor, you are a cauldron of amazing holistic information. So don't discount that. And this is for anybody listening to this call. Do not discount any of your skills, and don't forego sharing that because, Shakeology has this other alternative. I should only be promoting Beachbody, or Beachbody has this alternative. I should only be promoting Beachbody. No, you're promoting yourself. Beachbody sells their own shit. Sorry if your son's in the car, but Beachbody sells their own stuff. They have world-renowned commercials. Pio is the #1 infomercial the last 2 months running. So they do just fine. So, yes, don't feel like you can't share that on your page, Valency. Long story short. Anything else? Either of you want to chime in on anything?
Oh, I can't wait to take this test.
I know, I'm super excited. I know. So take the test, you guys. It literally, it's like 5 minutes. It's super easy. So thank you guys. Thank you for everyone that came on live, and can't wait to talk soon. Bye.